This is a review of the Conair Fabric Defuzzer, or a fabric shaver. So this is the box that it originally came in. I've already used this fabric shaver defuzzer a few times already, and I have to say that it actually really does work. I guess some of you who watch the video, fabric pilling or fuzzing that occurs in shirts, sweaters, and other clothing articles. And this is pretty simple. It just has some razors inside this little circular opening, I suppose, and it just spins and it cuts off the little pilling or fuzz that sticks out from your clothing. So it says it renews knitwear, it's quick and even shaving, adjusts for fabric type, detachable. Here's just a quick look on the box. Most fabric shavers are pretty similar in how they operate. Conair just makes this one. I got this one because it seemed like it was a bit heavier duty. I wanted something that was going to last several uses and wasn't going to break after several uses. So I got this on Amazon for about 12 bucks. Amazon offers a lot of fabric shavers, but this one seemed to have the best overall reviews, relatively speaking, and it was moderately priced. There is more cheaper and a bit more expensive shavers than this, but the cheaper ones were quite small and the more expensive ones didn't seem all that better. So this one seemed to match what I was looking for. So it's, as you can see, it's pretty big. Here's my hand for reference. You can get a full grip on this. And this is what's in the box. Well, this came in some plastic packaging inside the box, and the manual's in there too. The manual just shows you basic stuff: how to put the batteries in, how to turn it on, how to remove the lint catcher or fabric shave catcher. Pretty basic manual. We don't really need that. We get rid of the box. So it says in the box that it had 3 fabric shave settings. So here are your 3 settings right here. So you could download it in. This is for if you don't want to cut that much or cut too close to your fabrics. This is, I guess, the moderate or medium level, and this is the lowest level, or I should say second to lowest, because you could just remove this entire housing, and I'll show that in a minute. So this last setting cuts closest to the fabric, or extremely close to the fabric. Or you could just detach the whole assembly altogether, and then you could just cut without the guard, kind of like when you get your hair cut and you could choose between anything between an 8 to a 1 or a 0, being you don't use any plastic guard at all. So let's pop that back on. It only has an on-off switch. Some shavers do have different modes, so like low, medium, high, or low and high and off, but this just has on and off, so one setting. Here is the lint catcher itself, or fabric shave catcher, not lint catcher. The box says it cuts lint too, but you can't really cut lint because you could just get some tape or a lint roller to catch all the lint. But it claims to do that, and I could see why, because there is like a suction cup fan in here, so I could see it catching or cutting lint. So we could detach this, or as you can see, I do still have some residual fabric shavings in there. Oh, it just all spilled into my sweater, or t-shirt rather. That's totally fine. I'll clean that up later. But as you can see, it does cut it. So let's put this back together, and we'll use it on this t-shirt. The t-shirt isn't that bad, but I've had to test. I tested this out on a lot worse pilled sweaters earlier to make sure it does work. So here's a quick demonstration. So there's quite a lot of pilling. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some pilling right there on the t-shirt, in the lower half of the t-shirt. So let's go ahead and turn it on and use it. So I usually set it to the middle or lowest position. It's just personal preference. I'll set it on the middle position right now, and if it doesn't cut it all the way, then I'll go down to the lower positions. So that was it on. It's somewhat loud, So as I'm using it, I'm not going to be talking, and I'll give you some more of my insights after I use it. Alright, so as you saw, I kept it pressed down on the t-shirt or clothing article all the entire time. I applied very light to moderately light pressure, and I went in circular motions in straight lines. So I went in a circular motion, but just straight across, or I usually go straight up. Doesn't really matter. But I read somewhere that you should go in circular motions, so that's just how I do it. And as you heard, it was cutting the fabric at one point, or because some parts of the t-shirt didn't have pilling or fuzz, so it didn't cut anything off. But some parts where there was those small little balls of pilling or fabric fuzz, it shaved those off. So as you can see now, there is no more pilling or fabric fuzz. So it really does work. And if you really fabric pilling or fuzz, this is a great option to get rid of it. I don't know, I know they make fabric defuzzing or fabric pilling combs. I don't know how well those would really work. Some people just use a razor and cut close to the fabric. I've done that before, but it takes a long time. You don't get all the pilling off, and there's a potential that you can just cut straight through the fabric if you're not careful. For 10 bucks, this does an extremely great job at removing pilling. It's really easy to use. It's convenient. It's not that big. I don't know. It does what it needs to do, and it's at a really affordable price. It uses 2 AA batteries. So to access that, we open it right there. 2 AA's. I have some Duracells in there. It does not come with batteries, but yeah. It really works. And if you hate pilling or fabric fuzz, go out and buy this Conair Fabric Shaver Defuzzer, whatever they call it, or buy any fabric shaver. I'm pretty sure they all work. This one, like I said, just seemed better, and I can contest it, or I could attest that it does really work. It does work really well. And I could open this up for you. It says you could clean it out or clean out the blades, which I haven't found I needed to do yet. But if you needed to, then you can actually unscrew this and take a look at the razors to clean it, maintain it. So I mentioned earlier, it just has some razors on here, and it spins in this circular guard. So it's pretty primitive. It has 3 razors that spins in a circular fashion when it's on, to cut those little fabric pillings that stick out from your clothes. And that's pretty much it. But it does it at a fast rate, so it's a lot faster than getting a razor and, carefully cutting or scraping at your sweater. Well, that's pretty much it. If you're interested, go out and buy one of these fabric shavers. One last thing before I end this video. Some people say that since it's a pretty small